Hello and welcome, PocketWatch here, and it's about time for another episode of Fata Morgana. So I still haven't fixed the issues with audio, so I hope that I can edit everything out correctly, so like you will have pleasure to hear game and everything in correct way. But yeah, it's been pretty weird with OBS recently. So yeah, I think we'll just continue, so let's just inspect our memories and let's go to the new episode where we're going to face Fata Morgana of Jacopo, I would say, because we're still in the backstory of Morgana. About time. Good morning. What little of it remains, anyway. What's with the look? Still waking up? What are you doing here? Excuse me, why would I not be here? That doesn't answer my question. How did you even... Little bird told me where to find you. So you survived? They look dead to you? No, but... Still, I thought you were killed during the ride. Yeah, feelings me too well. I may not be as good with the sword as someone, but you know I'm not a pushover. I wasn't going to let a bunch of bandits get the best of me. What, were you worried? Seriously, and here I thought all you knew how to do was a damn me... All you knew how to do was damn me to the fires of hell. Okay, makes sense. Was I worried? Of course I was, you abused dolt. Wow. Okay, that's loud expression from Morgana. I never actually meant it when I said you should be cast into hell. Of course I want to see you alive. Of course. It would hurt me to lose you. Wow. Okay. What a development. Sadly, just in her dreams, but still. I'm sorry, that was callous of me. I was afraid I would never see you again. I thought I had lost everything. Everyone. I was scared to death. Whoa, no need to cry. You're tougher than that. I'm not crying. If you say so. And what do you mean? I'm tougher than that. What do you think I am? Made of stone? First you try to pretend I'm a normal girl, and now you act like I'm some kind of hurdle scratcher. Make up your mind already. I'm sorry, really. You're a perfectly ordinary girl, Morgana. Can you say that looking in my face? I'm looking at it right now. Even though I'm a mean-spirited, bitter little girl. Even though you are mean-spirited, bitter little girl. Though, it's nice you acknowledge it. Oh, burn in hell. Say, I want to ask you something. And I want you to not call me weak for it this time. Let's hear it. Will you stay with me? I don't want to be alone anymore. It terrifies me. Yeah, absolutely. I love this conversation here. I really love it. Even though it's not real, and it makes it painful. If only they could actually have this honest conversation with each other before. I'll stay right here forever. You know, you won't be able to accomplish your dreams out there, right? And you're fine with that? You bet. You told me to stay and stay I will. We live right on the lake and there's some mountains nearby. All things considered, it's not about location. We can plant some crops, go fishing in the lake, sprawl out the grass under the starry sky. Sounds like pretty good life to me. That's basically Morgana's dream, what she would like to have, basically. Then maybe sometimes you could sing a little song. And I will sit there, listening quietly. Or if you want some accompaniment, I can procure some instruments. That sounds as nice to you as it does to me. Nothing seriously? Nah, what else could you want? Huh, what about... No. That's more than enough. Yes. If I could have a life like that, it would have made every misfortune in my life worth suffering. Jacopo, Morgana, you both fucked up so much. Jacopo is in special. Yeah. Okay. He's not here. It was a dream. Yep. Also, I made a mistake. I thought like it's a dream from unconscious Morgana from the tower, but this is like a backstory after she found the cottage. Yeah, my bad. Sorry. What else could it have been? He's dead, just like everyone else. They all died in the raid. And even if he was alive, he wouldn't come looking for me. What a childish dream. That makes it even worse. Like, she actually never knew that he survived. None of them knew about each other. God damn it. I think like a lot of problems could be fixed if they like had this conversation here. Like this honest conversation with each other before the raid. You know? I think like that could change something. Not sure exactly what, because Jacopo would still need to get the power to try and find Morgana. Maybe that would be even more devastating for Jacopo if actually they talked, if you think about this. I'm not sure anymore. Maybe that wouldn't change actually anything. Yeah, I think like there's like a lot of things that went wrong that conversation would not fix anything. You can't cry over a simple dream. You are a daughter of God. Your tears are only to be shed for others, not yourself. She's crying. Damn. I pounded my fists against the floor again and again, sobbing like a petulant child. I had never cried like this before. Not as I witnessed men, women, children being slaughtered, not when I was taken from my home, not when I was chained up and tortured by the Lord. It was not that I realized just how much I needed that warmth, and that I would never have it again. At my spirit hit rock bottom. Finding and losing happiness hurt worse than anything else. I wish I had never known happiness. Oh wow. I remember, like, I don't know where, but I remember someone asked this question before. So I'm going to ask you in the comments as well. Do you think it's better to know happiness and then lose it, or never knew happiness in the first place? What do you think is better? Let me in the comments. I wish no one had ever shown me kindness. Never it means I have to go through this. I wish I had never known that it was like to be normal. I would have just stayed the daughter of God my whole life. Then I wouldn't be feeling like this. I never knew crying like that was so exhausting, and I never want to experience it again. I want to go back to who I used to be, a saint. If I didn't know this happiness, I wouldn't have to feel like this. I just have to forget it all. That part of my life, it never happened. No peace, no rest, only trials for my father. This is all I have ever known. It's not hard, just don't think about those years. Then you won't have to cry like this ever again. It's for the best. Like, if you think about this, this is a little bit a parallel to what is Jacopo doing as well. Like, as Odilon like instructed Jacopo and stuff, Jacopo had to cut his ties basically from his old life and forget about this. And so is Morgana doing now. It's my only choice. See, I was always right. I never was and never will be normal. The only ones who will offer me salvation are God and one of his angels. Michelle, huh? You remember how she called him an angel later? At the end. And so I did precisely that. I led a solitary life. I did my businesses hidden from the cottage door. And I sent away anyone who wasn't here for medicine. Once a mounted man in armor rode up to the cottage. A mounted man in armor rode up to the cottage. He looked like a knight, but I had no interest in getting involved with anyone who went around carrying weapons. I was responsible for my own safety, so I had to be careful about who I opened my door to. I had to be extra careful about who I dealt with, but I didn't feel sad or lonely about it. By making that my normal, there was nothing to lament, which meant my old memories served no purpose but to cause me pain. So I endeavored to push them far, far away into the depths of my mind. I couldn't simply discard my memories and what the Lord had done to me, of course, or of all the wonderful people I had met at the brothel. But as time dragged on, they faded into almost nothing. I couldn't describe what any one person's voice sounded like, how they acted around me, what kind of person they were. The things we did together, what they looked like, the names, was anything of importance. I knew good, and well, it was callous to forget about all people who had shown me so much kindness and warmth. But I would never see them again, and thinking about them only brought me pain, so there was no point in remembering. Oh my god. Also, to answer my own question, so you know what I think. I'm in place when I think that it's better to get to know happiness and love and then lose it. I'm on this side, actually. So I'm very curious, where are you with this? Let me know in the comments. It was all I could do to make it by. Nearly 4 years had passed since I had assumed the role of the Like-Seed Witch. Also, I'm talking about it. Also, this is my answer, and I did had something, then lose it, and I felt like shit and stuff. So I'm still on this side. If you wonder if I ever felt something like this, and I'm just like giving answer with like baseless thing that never happened to me. Even though this happened to me, I still choose this answer. Only 4 years had passed since I had assumed the role of the Lakeside Witch. My 16th birthday was approaching, but my age was perhaps the only thing I had in common with the ordinary teenage girl. Although if I had grown up like another girl, having spent my childhood as a saint before being held captive by the Lord and made to witness countless people deaths. That would probably mean there was something deeply wrong with me. By that point, terrible cynicism had taken root in my heart. I built up high walls around myself, keeping my contact with outside world as terse and pragmatic as possible. Yeah, we know. With each passing day, my voice grew more monotonous, my interactions following a well-rehearsed script. Are we going to see Mel from her perspective? I mean, we saw Mel from her perspective, but this is like deeper perspective, basically. My customers didn't make an attempt to force their way into my shell either. I began to suspect the Mad King think I'm not a witch by trade, but I had actually formed a pact with the devil and worked his dark magic. No one said as much, but I could sense what seems to be fear in their voices when they came to me. On the other hand, I never had anyone else try to force themselves into the cottage like the man 4 years earlier, so I would say I had a rather peaceful life. If you consider life in which no one wanted anything to do with you peaceful, that is. I mean, it is peaceful, it just sucks. You know? Like, nothing is bothering you outside of loneliness and depression. Yeah, that sucks. I had also come to learn a fair bit about herbology. I could now make my own medicines, rather than just making do with what was already here when I moved in. Although a fair bit still amounts to almost nothing when compared to my predecessor was capable of. Nonetheless, I had a relatively solid grasp on what herbs to use to treat different symptoms. Enough to formally assume the name of the like-said witch, at least. And so the time flowed on, uneventful and quiet, until one day a young man showed up at my door. Mel? Yep, okay. Welcome back. First time in Fata Morgana Requiem. Excuse me, is anyone home? I knew right away he was a new customer. No one had traded with me before bothered with such a pleasantness anymore. They wanted the process to be quick and frictionless. I preferred it that way as well. Who's there? When I responded from behind the door, he seemed to be taken aback. After several moments with no answer, I tensed up slightly and repeated the question. Yeah, because he expected the old lady voice. Yeah, my sister's fallen very ill, and she desperately needs medicine. He has a very pretty voice. Ah, she smiled a bit. I was told that the person who lives here is a skilled herbalist. Could I please get something to treat her? What are her symptoms? Oh, she's got an extremely high fever that won't come down. She has no appetite, she's only drinking water, and she can't get out of bed. Everyone always seems to be looking medicine for themselves. I haven't had a customer like him in some time now. Yeah, if you think about this, like, Morgana could kinda correlate is a word, I think. I'm not sure. To him? Relate to him. I guess, yeah, relate. Relate to him, because Morgana kinda is similar. Like, she says like her like saintness, right? Her blood and like miracles are like for other people. And here she finally found a person that also is doing something for someone else, you know? She may not think about this that way, and I may overcook, but it is kinda related. She probably feels good about this. I mean, later she decided to actually use her blood, so yeah, she does trust Mel and stuff. And like him. And his behavior. We're going to want to lower her fever first. After that, get her on the nutritious diet. I'm going to give you 2 medications. Give her the first while her fever is high, the second after it's come down. Thank you very much. When was the last time someone thanked me? Yeah. Must be nice. Here's your medicine. It's powdered, so mix it with some water and have your sister drink it. Are you not going to open the door any wider? Is that necessary? No, sorry. Just a second. Let me get your money. Ah. Take supplies for my. I take supplies for my services, not money. Oh, I didn't realize. I'm so sorry. That's all I have on me today. Would you maybe be willing to accept this as payment for today? Very well. Is that a gold coin? Yeah. Kinda nobility. Well, fallen nobility, but still a nobility. Those gems aren't worth nearly this much. Just who is this man? And what on earth is he doing here at the witch cottage? In any other situation, I wouldn't have even been tempted to look. What if he saw me? He would think me disgusting, ridicule me, like everyone else. Yeah, she did forget. It didn't hurt knowing what people thought of me. It was hardly pleasant hearing it vocalized either. And what if he decided to do something at that moment I dropped my guard? Could force the door open, have his way with me. He doesn't seem like that kind of man though. Trust was about the farthest thing from my mind when interacting with people these days. I also remained on high alert, keeping a safe distance from everyone, no matter how good they appeared on the surface. But for some reason, I felt strangely comfortable in this young man's presence. At the time, I couldn't have explained why, but in retrospect, I imagine it was largely a result of his upbringing. He spoke in clear, well enunciated voice. He had a polite, friendly air about him, which I could feel even through the door. Yeah, that makes a betrayal even harder. It wasn't the sort of well-mannered you could fake with a bit of practice, not the sort of you encountered out in the middle of nowhere. Curiosity took hold of me. I had to know what he looked like. I wasn't going to throw the door open, of course, and I had no intention of inviting him either. I just wanted to get a little peek at him through the crack in the door. So I opened it even so slightly wider than usual when I reached out to take his payment. Ah. Oh no, he saw me. Oh, I didn't think you'd be so young. I guess you'd be a little older. But thank you for doing business with me. And I'm sorry for not coming properly prepared. Yeah, Morgana is just taken aback because he just said like, oh, you were young, instead of, oh, what are these cars? And he didn't feel disgusted either. So yeah. This is the feeling that Morgana haven't felt in like 4 years basically, since last time it happened. If I need any more, I'll be sure to bring supplies next time. Alright. Again, I really appreciate it. Have a nice day. You too. He saw my face and he wasn't disgusted. Yeah. He actually smiled. I was so caught off guard, I thought for a second that maybe my face had healed. So I ran over to the water basin and a glimmer of hope in my heart gazed at my reflection. The face looking back at me was the same as always. A grotesque and silently patchy mess. Part of me was disappointed, but more than anything, I was flabbergasted by what had just happened. How could he smile at the sight of his face, of this face? For a split second my mind slipped back in time 4 years. Yep, that's what I said. It's the first time in 4 years someone behaved like that. And last time it was Jacopo. A man who had applied ointment to my face. He had never seemed disturbed by my appearance either. Not long afterwards, the young man called upon my cottage again. He said that the medicine had briefly relieved his sister's symptoms, but that it failed to actually cure what ailed her. Herbal medicine required patience and persistence before its effects manifested. I informed him, to which he responded with a sad smile. He was a handsome young man, not far from what I imagined from his voice, and the smile suited him quite well. There was a distinct elegance emanating from him. Ragged clothing aside, but he was about how I envisioned a fairy tale prince might look. Pretty much, I assume. Though I knew quite well, those only existed in fiction. Real nobles were terrible, miserable, reprehensible people. What? You just met Mel. He has nobility. Well, fallen, but still. After a few visits, we started having little conversations outside of our business transactions. He told me his name, Mel, as well as his sister Nellie, and I told him mine. Mel was 17, only a year older than me. Then one day, he invited me outside for a walk. It's not healthy to stay holed up inside all the time. You've got this beautiful lake right here. What do you say we take a little walk around the shoreline? Yup. And then the daily walks started. I was going to turn him down, but my mouth seems to disagree with my mind. And the next thing I knew, I was taking a walk with someone for the first time in years. Although width might be something of a stretch, I kept a safe distance from him as we walked. I was disappointed with my own willingness to get any closer, but I couldn't bring myself to trust him that much yet. Nevertheless, it was a momentous enough occasion that I felt justified describing it as such. I'm sure I made him uncomfortable on numerous occasions during our walks. Yeah, probably, because you're weird, and also we know that you did answer basically any questions and stuff, so Mel was like monologuing basically to himself. To say acted disagreeably would be understatement, sorry. And anytime he closed the gap between us, I stepped a little further away. Every response I gave was curt, and I rapidly shut him down whenever he started getting wistful or sentimental. Morgana of 4 years prior might have been a little softer with him, a little more human. Maybe she would have given him a little smile or a pout instead, but that girl was long gone. Yep. 4 years, like, that 2 years in, like, because she would be like, yeah. 2 years got destroyed basically by the next 4 years. But yeah, I despise the humanity that had once started taking rot on me, and I endeavored to be something different again. In one instance, he heard a robin chirping and said, "If I had wings like a bird, maybe I could be free too." To which I responded, "There's not a single creature living in this world that is free." What? Birds regularly get shot down by hunters or preyed on by the larger birds. Yeah, way to get down with the mood. The idea that they are free is nothing more than a man's short-sighted delusion. Oh, sorry, I guess. Nah, I should be apologizing. I wasn't trying to attack you. I simply lack the ability to properly empathize with others. I do not understand people. So please, if I say anything that upsets you or make you uncomfortable, don't assume that was my intention. Sure. Maybe you're hiding it, or maybe you just don't know it yet, but I think you've got more empathy than you're letting on. Sure, you can say nothing affects you at all. You are human. And she wanted to cast that out. At one point, that was true, though it was perhaps somewhat difficult for others to see. I found great beauty in the world when I knelt before the gravestones, but such sentiments have long since been lost to me. So I don't have to be so closed off. I might not be able to do much for you, but I do want to get to know you better. I want to understand you. So, if you ever feel like talking about yourself, Just know that you've got an eager pair of ears here. Yeah. Okay? If there was ever someone who could understand me, if there would have been someone who could understand me what I am now, could empathize with me, while being through trials as great as mine, if they would not be human. What do you mean? That you would need to be far removed from the any idea of humanity to have a chance at understanding me. Oh my god, yeah, she's back to like what she's been before. I do appreciate your kind words. Sure. So, out of curiosity, do you have anyone really important to you in your life? There used to be. Not at the moment. Does that mean you used to? I'd have to hear about them, if you don't mind. Digging up the old stuff that you want to forget. They're all long dead. 4 years ago, something unpleasant occurred, and as a result of that, I was forced to part ways with the people who taught me that humans have the capability of kindness. Also, yeah, you said forced to part ways, but no one said about them being dead. I wonder, like, if Morgana would, like, actually accept, or, like, because she never actually thought about the idea that they might have survived, right? What if Morgana would just accept that they could survive? Like, she got separated, but it doesn't mean, like, they all died. Like, Jacopo could be alive and everyone, so... I wonder if she would think that she would go back to the city, basically, or not. I wonder if she would do that, or flee anyway. I think at that moment, after she got freed, and she thought about others actually being alive, maybe having a chance, I think she would go back at that point. Because she still felt good about what happened before, and she cared about these people, and still could have some hope for them. Oh, I'm sorry. Well then, if your sister's condition worsens again, come to see me. Farewell. Hey, maybe we could walk a little slower next time. We have more time to talk. I want to get to know you better. I'll consider it. Alright? So long. Bye, see you soon. Mel almost became second Jacopo here for Morgana. Like, I think like if the swordsman would not find them out, she might have been together with Mel, basically. I think like Mel would be what Jacopo was for him, for her before. That would be like end of it. Or Nelly would actually fuck something up here. Because it's Nelly. I was conscious of how cold and distant I was being towards him, and I had no interest in changing anything. Not that I knew him, I knew how to anymore. I had never known particularly well how to choose the right words, the proper way to act in various circumstances. But what little knowledge I had possessed, I'd long since lost. I assumed after the things I had said to him, Mal would never ask me another walk again. But I was wrong. He did the very next time. He did very next time he came for the medicine, and every time after that as well. Hey, I was thinking, I bet you would make a really good singer if you wanted. Oh my god, he really is going to remind her of Jacopo. Oh my god. Jacopo also been the one that like complimented her singing and stuff. She's really going to see Jacopo in mail. Holy shit. A singer? Yeah, you've got a really pretty voice. I think it would be nice if you tried using it to sing. I'm sorry, it's not my place to tell you what to do. You hardly talk. Why would they think you would want to sing? I'm glad we're on the same page. Never again. Yeah, a reminder of the old days. Sorry about that, really. Anyway, I wonder who came up first with the idea to sing. You can brighten someone's day or sour their mood with just the sound of your voice. Kinda amazing. Do you think? It's almost like magic. Oh, and there are battle songs too, for getting soldiers fired up for combat. Battle? Now, that's a word I never expected to hear from you. I mean, I am a guy. I admire anyone who has the strength to go to battle. I could never ever do it myself though. The sight of blood makes me sick and I barely know which end of the sword you are supposed to grab. You are a noble, aren't you? What needed do you have for knowing how to use a sword? I mean, Barnier knows. That's what I used to think too, but now I think I should have gotten training. I may not have been a soldier, but I need to be strong. Yeah, if only you trained, then maybe you could somehow stand up to swordsman, but very slim chance. I could avoid that so much. I could have avoided so much if I was. And Nelly wouldn't have lived in a rundown shack in the middle of nowhere. I actually forgot. Can you remind me why they got banished? Please, someone let me know in the comments. I forgot in the backstory of Mel why they got actually banished. I actually forgot. I would appreciate help in, like, the reminder of this. As I recall, he said once that he was forced from his house after a dispute over who was the rightful heir was. Okay, thank you, Morgana. God damn it. High society sounds like endless fun. Yeah. Morgana, what have you done? You are reducing the amount of comments. There's going to be little less interaction under the video now. God damn it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sure you don't care about any of this. Nah, you're fine. I'm the one who asked. Thanks. But maybe you can give me some details, more details about that event. You know? I want you to know, I really do appreciate it. It's nice to just be able to talk about this stuff to someone. You're naturally so sociable. I'm sure you can find plenty of other people willing to listen. Huh. I don't get into town much, not even to run errands, so I'm still kind of an outsider. You're my only friend right now. Yeah, I hope that wasn't too presumptuous of me. Call me whatever you like. Oh, thank goodness. We should do this more often, really. Talk more, get to know each other better, become better friends. To what end? No end, just, you know, having friends is better than being alone. Fair and good point. That's all. Let's see. I'll be heading back for now. See you again. Oh yeah, see you again, Morgana. Little by little his words were getting closer to reaching the old me. Yeah, not enough to provoke an actual response, of course, but that wasn't his fault. I had locked myself up too deeply. I no longer knew how to express emotions, most especially those that result from human warmth. This is kinda reminding me of Giselle and Maid. How Giselle basically locked up her emotions and all life in the shell. It kinda reminds me of this. However, I had regained enough of something to feel a sort of nostalgia in my interactions with Mel. And I felt perhaps, with enough time, I could go back to what I had been 4 years ago, 4 years prior, yeah, and then everything went to shit. But shortly thereafter, he threw all this into the wind with a single utterance. I will take anything at this point to make her better. I will even take a miracle if I get one. Okay, not yet, now the miracles. Later, the fucked up thing with the swordsman. He appeared exhausted that day, more than usual. His sister's condition had begun to worsen again. That one muttered what's a word set off a spark in my mind. It sent me back in time, well beyond, when I was at humanity 4 years ago, to my very origin, yeah. I was the daughter of God, my blood had healing properties. And the instant I remembered that, there was only one course of action I could take. Without hesitation I informed him that miracles did exist. That I had born a saint, and my blood had miraculous power. That after leaving the village of my birth, my power had only been misused. First by the Lord for his sick banquets, and by me for letting it lay idle for so long. I don't remember her telling Mel about the banquets. I don't remember this. Was it actually said? Now was the time for me to correct that. He was a kind-hearted young man who loved his sister, who deserved this blessing more than them. I told him everything. At first he was surprised, but never once did he accuse me of lying. He listened carefully, intentionally, taking in every word. Yeah, I think she did say it to him in the OG game too, because I remember him changing attitudes towards her totally later, when she was like giving a blood to Nelly and everything. Yeah, she told him really. And when I was finished, he said he believed me. He said he would entrust his sister Care to me. My sister slept upon a simple bed. She was a sweet little girl who looked like she would have been quite spirited if not for her ailment. Oh yeah, definitely. Both she and her brother had beautiful flaxen hair. They looked as if they had both been yanked from a painting. Seeing them there, I wanted to do everything I could to help them, to ensure their happiness. And I knew I had the ability to do so. No longer would I be the one receiving others' charity. I could be the one giving it again. And so I made a new cut on my mostly healed arm. For the briefest of moments, a flash of him applying ointment appeared in my mind, but I quickly cast it off. Okay, so she got a flashback because she cut the arm that he basically helped to put ointment on and healed because of this ointment. Yeah. Also, that means that at this time, at this point, the thoughts about the 4 years ago and Jacopo are stronger than her thoughts of Barnier. Because one would think that cutting your arm would trigger the flashback for Barnier and him like misusing her and cutting her arms and stuff. But instead it reminded her of healing process. This is very interesting. The flax-haired girl showed signs of recovering as a result of my miracle. The boy came to my cottage overjoyed to thank me. I was extremely proud of myself. I felt like for once I had actually saved someone's life. I had finally been able to use my gift to help someone truly good. After that miracle though, he stopped referring to me as his friend. Yep, pretty much. We remember that his attitude changed. Understandably so. No one could think of themselves as equals with someone who performed miracles. Away few revelance were all feelings that came from the same place. Inability to think of me as human, who experienced the world the same way he did. Jacopo never got to know the full story of Morgana, right? If I'm correct. He knew only about Barnier. Yeah, she never told him. She told him like, I'm a child of church or something like this. Yeah, she never told him the full story. He saw me as abnormal. I had always been fine with that. It was how it was supposed to be. Being different was what I always wanted, and in some way, it was what had kept me going. To seeing him put more and more distance between us should have bothered me in the slightest. But I continued to offer his sister my blood, no matter how distant he grew. Eventually he stopped inviting me on walks. But that didn't matter. I would serve my duty and perform miracles regardless. He would simply knock my cottage door and say, "Ah, sister's fallen ill again. Would you come perform another miracle?" I could hear the apprehension in his voice. No longer did he show me his gentle smile. No longer did we listen to the birds sing together. No longer was I the one being cold and distant. And no longer did he say "see you again" when we parted ways. Yeah, that sucks. But in a this sucks, but in a sense for Morgana it's been like going back to who she always wanted to be. So I guess she'd been like conflicted about this too, because on one side she was glad that's the case, but on the other hand she lost Mel that reminded her of Jacopo, you know? God damn it. Back in my village, when everyone feared and revered me as a saint, it filled me with a childish sense of superiority. But there was no superiority now, only prickling in the softened shell of my heart. I was no longer the child I had once been. I had changed. Oh, okay. I had learned what warmth felt like, yeah? And Mel basically digged that up for a while before starting to treating you coldly again. Maybe memories of that time were vague and eternal. But the feelings they had created lived on deep within me. For a time, I had felt a warm familiarity around Mel, which only made me yearn for him to treat me that way again. Yep. I wanted to be able to open up to someone once more, though I never said as much out loud. Also, her blood kinda worked like herbs, if you think about this. Like, when she's been using herbs to heal Nelly, she also been the same healing curve, basically, like, got the herbs, get better, get worse, get the herbs, get better. Same with the blood. Get blood, get better, get worse, get blood, get better. It's the same process that is going here. This is kind of ridiculous how like it's the same outcome. Like the only change in behavior is because it's the blood that makes her feel better, and that makes Mel and Morgana feel like they like that Morgana is actually, you know, inhuman. But it's basically the same outcome that like with just herbs. You could say that herbs have miraculous powers at this point. Like her hands are basically making miracles. So whatever like ointment or medicine she's going to do is going to bring miracle. You could think of it that way. It doesn't have to be a blood. It's the same process in the terms of this illness and how it appeared. Gloomy day after gloomy day passed, and then I received a new visitor. I asked them their business from behind the door, but they hesitated for a moment before responding. That's the swordsman, isn't it? Yeah. My instinct told me that whatever it wasn't the noble boy. So I waited, perplexed and slightly on the edge, for them to say something. And then they finally did. I was left aghast at what I heard. Yeah, because he remembered her voice too. Now they recognize each other by voice. Are you the witch with the miracle blood? Yep, there it is. Why did he sound like man who had slaughtered the slaves in the carriage, laughing all the while? What was he doing at my cottage? I thought he'd wandered off somewhere never to see again. I thought he was out of my life for good. Why? Why did he call me a witch? And how did he know my blood had powers? Had Mel told him? Or maybe his talkative little sister had gone running around blabbing about it. I should have been clearer with them. Made absolutely certain that I knew to keep their mouths shut. Please leave. It took all my strength to get those words out without my voice shaking. I could hear the screams from 4 years ago echoing in my mind. I could see the limbs flying, the blood pulling at my feet. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it pulsating my ears. Please stay away from my home. Yeah. That is a new PTSD for her. After all the time I spent forgetting about everything, closing myself off, finally finding peace, why does this monster who reminded me only of senseless violence and death have to come into my world? I never wanted to go through anything like that again. I'm in need of your blood. Could you not spare a little? I have nothing to spare for the man like you. My blood is only for the sick and needy, so please go away. Stay away from me, I'm begging you. Get away from this place. You're a murderer, I want nothing to do with you. So please just go away. As you say. Is he gone? Oh, thank heavens. My eyes feel like they're burning. No, Morgana, you have to be strong. You cannot let it get to you. Be strong. You have nothing to fear. Nothing to fear. Stop, fight it back. Yeah. I'd sworn never to cry again, but the moment fear released its grip on me, everything that had built up coming pouring out in the hot stream. Tears soaked my face. I wiped, and still my hands came back wet. Each passing second, I felt myself reverting into the ordinary helpless little girl. No. That's what I always had been. My whole life, I had just been putting on airs. When in reality I was even strong enough to withstand little fright. Wow. Okay. That's some of thoughts that we never heard actually before. In like this time period before, in the OG game. Okay. Even with the horrid man gone, I couldn't rest easy. I could be sure if he was gone for good. Maybe he was just waiting for a more opportune moment to target me again. The following day, I took a brief walk with a noble boy, but I couldn't bring myself to talk him about what happened. With how much distance he was keeping between us, I doubt he'd be willing to do anything to help. Yeah, and this is Morgana problem right here again. With the lack ability of like accepting people. I guess like something could change and maybe like she would not be captured if she would tell Mel about the swordsman, because at this point swordsman was still not in contact with Mel, so Mel could like prepare himself, prepare Nelly. Maybe they would decide to take Nelly inside the cottage, basically, and they would like live like under the lake basically together. That way they would be safe. I mean, they still would have to like go out sometimes, I guess. But that would be a safer option. Probably. Depending if they would like figure out that Nelly can be a weak spot for Mel. To betray Morgana. Anyway. Yeah. Once again, just a talk could save the situation. Like many times before. For 3 days and 3 nights I shook in terror, thinking, considering, speculating, wondering, hardly getting a wink of sleep. I was too anxious to sit still, so I paced in circles around the chair by the fireplace. It's too soon to be sure I'm safe. I can't go outside unless I absolutely must. Not even just to get water from the lake. Could be waiting in the shadows to take my life. I'm not safe here anymore. I shouldn't have said anything about my powers. They've only even brought me trouble. I should probably find somewhere else to live. But where? How far could I even get my own? He could be out there, waiting for me to open the door. I would need help. Don't be a fool, no one's going to help me. The boy barely even wants to talk to me anymore. All I wanted was a quiet life. Okay, is this a time? Is this a time? Also, it sucks so much. If this is actually the time, then Morgana, when she's so low right now with her thoughts, she's going to be so glad that Mel came here again. Oh god. Is it him? Did he return? Calm yourself, he knocks harder than that. It's not him. Who's there? That's me? Oh, his sister needs more of my blood. I'm not here about Nelly today. Okay. I'm sorry for being so distant lately. Okay. What? I want to talk things over. Ah, he's finally reconsidered. If he can treat me like a friend again. This is such a low blow right now. Oh my god. I hate Mel so much sometimes. Ah. Maybe I could ask him. I want to talk to you too. Yep. I opened the door without a second thought and let my guard drop. Because in my mind, the flax-haired boy briefly took the place of the slave man from the brothel. Yep, like I said, she saw Jack upon him. The man who had saved me from the terrible lord offered me his hand, guided me into the light, and there he was again, to set me free, to take me away from this place, take me somewhere new. He had pulled me out of the darkest depths of despair, and here he was again, ready to offer me his hand, a glimmer of hope to cast away the shadows. So I reached out to take it. Yep, and my arm went trembling to the ground. My hope following not far behind. Yep. My arm. Jesus, please don't kill me, please, 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 please don't kill me. Yep, make it stop. Yep, yep. Take it. Yeah, yeah, that was... yeah. That's your share. Should last you long enough. What do you mean take it? What do you mean take it? My arm, why would you betray me like that? How could you? I opened the door, you said you want to talk up. What I was doing here? Why would you break me? How could you do this to me? What do you mean? Your share? What? It's just easier for you to take my whole arm and keep coming back and asking for me to help. Is that what it is? I thought you were a good person. I thought you were a good person. I trusted you. I believed in you. I opened the door for you because I thought you wanted to talk about. I trusted you. I trusted you. I trusted you. I thought you were a good person. A nice man. I will give you and your sister so much blood as you needed. Just had to ask me, and I would have come to you. I didn't have to do this. You don't have to. I would have helped whenever you needed it. Why would you? How could you? Like, terrible. It's so cruel. You wouldn't. Would you tell me? You wouldn't tell me. Tell me. Like, why would you do this to me? You wouldn't. You wouldn't do this. Like, you wouldn't do this to me. Nothing personal. I just need your blood. Without it, she will lose her church. She needs the money. I need some way of getting enough money to keep her church running. So the Lord made me an offer. The Lord. Yep. Why him again? I love when Fata Morgana is doing like this shenanigans with text. I really love this. If I brought him the witch with the miracle blood, he would finance a whole new church for her. And it's even here, yeah. Wow, this is insane. There's not enough box to hold of Morgana's screams. Look at that, the backlog is not long enough. So don't take it personally. You get to be the sacrifice. You keep her church from collapsing to keep her world from collapsing, so don't take it personally. Back to Barnier. Cheers! A saint blood and good fortune to all. You are damned witch wearing a saint's skin. Uh-huh. No, I'm not a witch. After cutting off my left arm, the strange-looking man stuffed me into a sack and tied me up and threw me over his shoulder and carried me away somewhere. And while there is no interpunction in this, that's just her flow of thoughts without any rest. Okay, Jesus. And while he was walking, he muttered at me over his shoulder, explaining where we're going. Apparently a new church run by someone called Saintness. And she was going to give my blood to patrons of church, saying it was some kind of the miracle elixir. But what was this nameless man doing, calling herself a Saintness when I was the real saint? And why did I have to be the witch sacrificed for her sake? It didn't make any sense. And most of all, why the Lord was involved? Why did this vicious, cruel, horrible, miserable man have to come back to my life? Why couldn't he just leave me alone? Was it really so hard? Why he already had this, his way of being? Jesus! I can't read this. Horrible bang. Okay, I give up. Real power, so he decided to come back for more. He could have just called me the Saintness instead of her. He didn't have to make me into witch. Okay. Oh, it's because of my face, isn't it? Yeah, he wanted a pretty face to put on his brand new church, not an ugly scarred face like mine. Just pretty I can perform miracles. I'm here with my cut off arms stuffed in the back when slaves are treated better than this. All I wanted is quiet life, but I have this power, so I wanted to use it to help. Oh father, your trials are too great, I can't bear it any. Oh my god. I wasn't born to spend my whole life suffering. Apparently, life had different opinion on this. That sucks as fuck. Ah, about time. There's your witch. Tell me you didn't harm her, dog. I smell blood. Instructed me not to kill her. Mistakes were made, limbs were lost. I cleaned up all the blood I got on me. No one suspects anything. So you were able to immediately recognize it as the smell of blood says quite a bit, Lord. You have killed before, haven't you? Enough yapping. She is alive, yes? Of course. Yep. And now it's going to be Jacopo from Morgana perspective. I wonder if she even going to see Jacopo, if we're going to see Jacopo's sprite. I think like she's just going to see Barnier. I think we're just straightforward get to see Barnier here. Yeah. Okay, makes sense. No tears. No, that's still a good girl. It simply wouldn't be the same if you carried and blubbered like a lowly slave or a whore. Dignified and saintly, that's what I need you to be. Welcome, witch. Yep, she's getting like all the PTSD from the Barnier. You'll be giving your blood to all people now, not only me. Is that you? Oh, do you remember me? Yeah, this is Jacopo talking to Morgana and she's like, only envisions Barnier. She's incapable of seeing Jacopo anymore. What an honor, a truly splendid honor. How could I ever forget? How could I ever forget? All the pain, all humiliation you put me through. How could I ever forget the blood sabbaths you loved to hold? Haven't had enough, have you? Leaving scars on every inch of my body wasn't enough for you. You haven't had your fill of my blood? I'm thrilled to know the Green Saint remembers the lavish parties I threw for her. She doesn't even hear what Jacopo is saying. Her mind is just like rephrasing everything to what she thinks the Lord would say. I take it they left quite an impression then. You're the man who bound me, cut me up, called me a witch and then tried to kill me. I had forgotten you even for a moment. That's splendid to hear. I'm sure you tried so very hard to cast my memory aside. But you never could you? And you know what that means? That the scars I left all over you run deeper than anything else you've ever experienced. Oh, that's real. Look at that face, so twisted and hideous. I bet you loathe me. That you will never be able to forgive me. I don't care how much my father preaches forgiveness. That's one thing you will never get from me. I despise you with all my soul. I revile you with every fiber of my being. For every scar you gave me, I give you a lifetime of hatred. You will never have my forgiveness. This man, the Lord, he destroyed me, mind and body. This man ruined my life. I see. So I'm the one who ruined your life? But why should that concern me? Their words are as insignificant as the chips of the dying Robin. Scream and shout until your throats go sore. Now he's Jacopo. It doesn't change anything. We lock the witch up and proceed as planned. So basically when Jacopo been like behaving unsure and was saying like tried to explain stuff, I mean he didn't try to explain, he thought about explaining and stuff, okay, but he was like wavering of what to say. Morgana just made up the whole conversation with him, and now after Jacopo actually started talking like Barnier, she sees Jacopo like silhouette, but not recognizing it, but recognizing finally what he's saying, because this is what she expects to hear. Wow. What a broken mind. Oh Father, God of heaven and earth, my life is becoming nothing, shattered and empty. Oh, Jesus. Good day, Lord Barnier. Good day. Yeah, not so good for Morgana. And actually not for good for Jacopo too, because he finally found Morgana, but had to act as he acted. To not lose everything. Jacopo, you suck. You have so many issues. Anyway, that's it for this episode. It's been a long episode. Yeah, it seems like it's over an hour. So thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. So click that like button if you liked the episode, subscribe for more, check my Discord, and you can become a member if you would like to support me and see the episodes earlier. Thank you once again, and for Pocket Watch is going out.